The normal price for the spa day is $700 including GST, but the special reduced this by 30%. Calculate the new price. So from this question, I would assume it is 30% off from $700 including GST. So how I answered this question was 30% off of $700. $700 times 0.3 is $210. That is the discounted price. So 700 take away 210 get you 490. That's the price that you would have to pay. So 210 is what you save and 490 is what you pay with this deal. Next one. Usually Mecca Stonehouse charges $1,250 including GST, but we are only going to pay $250. So what I've done was 250 divided by 1,250. That shows the ratio is just 0.2. So 1 take away 0.2 equals 0.8. 0.8 is 80%. Next one. There are 167 staff members in Western Springs, and you would expect 3/4 to attend. So 3/4 times 167 gets you 125.25. Now rounding is quite important because you can't have a quarter of a person, so we would expect you to round either to down, so which would get you 125 or 126 people. Of these attendees, 60% will want to go by bus from WSC. How many will want to go by bus from Western Springs? 126 times 0.6 will get you 75.6 on your calculator, and you round it to 76 to a whole number because you do not have a decimal of a person. Next one. If a bus holds 35 people, how many buses will be needed to transport everyone? So it's going to be 76 people divided by 35. I got 2.17. Now in this case I do need to round up to 3 buses if bus is the only transport they are going to use. Per bus it is going to be $190 return. How much is it? You need to go $190 times 3. That would get you $570. That's how much it is going to cost you to hire the buses. Next, WSC will let staff use 12-person van, and it costs 85 cents per kilometer, and you got a distance of 12.9 kilometers. Now from this question it's clear you're going from Western Springs to Mission Bay, Mission Bay to Western Springs. So the formula I've got up here is 0.85 times 12.9 times 2, and times 2 comes from the school to Mission Bay, Mission Bay to school, and in total it is $21.93. You do want to round it to nearest 2 decimal places when you're using money, because you count it nearest cent if possible. Next question, it says, will it be economical to use the van or not? It is going to be economical to use van. Support your argument with explanation. Right, so if you had 76 people that you need to transport from Western Springs to Mission Bay, 3 buses are going to cost you $570, as you have found from the previous question. If you had to take 2 buses and a van, it's going to cost you $190 times 2 plus 21.93 as from the previous question. So in total, it's going to cost you $401.93. But if you had to use van for all the transport, which is what I've calculated here, is going to be 76 divided by 12, and that's going to get you 6.33. That means 7 times the van has to come and go to transport every single person. Now let's see what the equation says. So it's going to be 21.93, because that's how much of a van costs, and times it by 3, you get 153.51. That's how much it's going to cost the staff to go to Mission Bay and come back to the school. Now, what's going to be quite important for an excellence is that which one should we use out of these options? We do have a more economical method to transport people, but I think what's quite important to note is time limitations, because it's going to take a long time for a person to go from school to Mission Bay and coming back. And I think people would prefer bus than any other methods. Next one, in terms of food, it's a ratio. You need to be able to know how to convert the ratio into fractions. It says 1.11. That means 1 over 12 on one side and 11 over 12 on the other side. 1 over 12 is going to be the vegetarian. 11 over 12 is going to be non-vegetarian. Next one. They're trying to take off the GST from a cost of a meal. Cost of a meal is about $30. If you had to remove the GST from $30, you have to go 30 divided by 1.15, because that's a GST of 15%, and that's the answer you get. You got $26.09. Now, if I do $26.09 times 76, I get 1,982.61. That will be to the nearest cent. Finally, if I add all the values up, so which is going to be venue hire, transportation, food and spa, I get a value of 2,876.12. So you just have to add all the values up to get the answer there.